Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is not an older video. This week we are at our home in Louisiana, so I thought it'd be fun to come in my workshop, look around, find a few things, get inspired, and see what I can come up with. So today we are going to be making a few projects in this workshop. Whenever I take something apart, I always keep the metal pieces. So this is from an old ladder that I took apart and I turned it into two blanket ladders. It sold immediately. It was beautiful. It was all covered in paint and all this stuff, and I just sealed all that in and it looks amazing. So I think I've used all of the other pieces from that ladder except for these two. So I figured today they're gonna get used. We're gonna make something. I have this piece of wood and I think it's already the right width. I'm thinking these pieces, I want to put them on each side kind of as a handle. And I also have these scrap pieces that I want to attach to the side just to frame it out. I think that it will give it a nice clean look instead of just having a piece of board. I decided to make my board 2 feet long, so I cut that down on my miter saw and also cut my 2 trim pieces. I am attaching them using a staple gun because that is what I have here. I did not have a brad nailer. When cutting my trim pieces, I never pull out a tape measure, y'all. I just put everything together and mark it on the piece of wood, and then I take it to my miter saw and cut it. So I'm going to attach my 2 other pieces of trim, and then this piece will be ready for paint. Normally to paint something like this, I would use a flat paint or a chalk paint, but I don't have any of that here, so I'm just going to use what I have on hand, which is interior paint in the color white duck in a satin finish. So I'm going to put 2 coats of that on here, and it ends up looking absolutely beautiful. So don't feel like you always have to have the perfect paint for every project. You can just use what you have on hand and make it work. Now this isn't going to distress that great since it is a latex paint, but I know for sure I'm going to be able to distress all the edges, which is the way that I prefer my pieces anyway. So I'm just going to lightly distress it. I think that would look better with those very rustic metal pieces. So I'm using my orbital sander and 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just hitting all the edges. Just like I always keep old metal pieces, I also keep old screws. That way, when I want to screw in one of my metal pieces, I don't have to use a new screw. I already have a rusty screw that is going to blend in. So I'm going to use these to attach the piece from the ladder to my tray that I just built. I have my pieces on both sides and I am really liking the way that it looks. I like how open it is. I could put some taller pieces of decor right here if I wanted. However, I wanted to give y'all another option. If you wanted to put a handle, you could put a piece of wood across and cut some slits right here. That way it fits tightly onto this piece, and then you could glue it on, and that would also look really great and kind of like a little toolbox. Just take this idea as inspiration and then you can do your own twist on it. Also, if you have any more ideas on what you could do with these 2 metal pieces from a ladder, leave a comment below. Random piece that has been sitting around for years, as you can see. So today is the day I'm going to come up with something to do with it. I think it was a top on something that I took apart. I don't even remember, guys. It's been in my shop for so long, so it's getting used today. Once I got all the sawdust cleaned off of it, I actually liked the finish on it. It kind of already had this aged distressed look. So I think I'm going to keep it. And I'm also going to turn it upside down. And I didn't have any twine or string that I really liked, but I did have all these hem pieces from drop cloth. So y'all know I use lots of drop cloth on my projects, and what I do is I cut off all the hem pieces and save them. That way, if a project comes up and I want a little bit more rustic piece of trim, this is absolutely perfect. So I have 4 strings and there's already little holes in the top, so I'm using that as spacing and just using my staple gun to put a string in every other hole, and that worked perfectly. And then I'm gonna bring all my strings together and just tie them off at the top. This project was so quick and so easy, and I absolutely love the way that it came out. I can't believe I've been just having this piece sitting around for years. Y'all let me know what y'all think about how it came out. I have this piece that I have been using outside for a few years in my decor. I had a cement bird on it, and then I had some greenery around it. It was really cute, but I think I want to change it up. I'm actually going to turn it this way. I like the age and the look of it. It'll, be perfect outdoors, indoors. I wouldn't put food on it, of course, but I like the look of it. And I figured, why not pair it with an old chippy spindle, because everything looks better with an old chippy spindle. When using old spindles, you definitely want to check for nails. I cannot cut this down at the ends because it's full of nails on both sides, and you do not want to mess up your blade by cutting a nail. So I'm going to leave the bottoms as is. It's a nice thick base and it's even. So now I'm just trying to kind of figure out how high I want this riser to be. So I'm just visually looking at it, and then I'm going to mark it and go cut it on my miter saw. And then all I have to do is glue my spindle to the bottom of the riser. I'm just going to be using wood glue. You want to make sure that you let it dry for 24 hours before you mess with it. Alright guys, I hope that y'all enjoyed today's video. I know it's kind of quick, but I want to actually enjoy some of my time here and not spend the whole time working. But it was so much fun to be back in my shop and doing some woodworking like I used to do every single day. If you're wondering why I don't do this kind of stuff anymore, it's because I don't have a space like this in Mississippi. It is so nice having a dedicated space just to come work. Like many of y'all probably have, I just have my garage in Mississippi, which we use on a daily basis. So it's just hard to be in there all the time woodworking. You know what kind of mess that makes. So unfortunately, I just don't have that set up in Mississippi. My life is a little bit different, but it was so great to be back in here working. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed it as well. Please leave a comment below and let me know what was your favorite project that I created today. If you love seeing me back in the shop working, and I really hope that y'all are enjoying y'all summer as much as I am. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video.